The bliss of the abyss, it's here now.
Welcome back to the Bliss of the Abyss. My name's Robin Neumark Jones. Thank you so much for joining me today after our little hiatus. We are back. Where have I been? I've been all over the place. So thanks for your patience. I will fill you in on everything that's been going on as I've been away. How have you been? What have you been up to? How has your life been? Are your children well? How's your health? Have you been brushing your teeth every morning? Have you been going to the toilet regularly? How is your vitamin regimen? Are you getting enough micronutrients? What about probiotics? Have you seen your mother lately? Have you given your brother a ring? Would you like to hang out? I'm busy. Anyway, yeah, I'm back. So I have been taking a little hiatus, as I said. I've been doing quite a lot of audio production work, and it's been taking up quite a lot of my time, alongside trying to find some more steady, employable income and being depressed. So there's been that. So it's been kind of tough staying on top of producing this alongside everything else that's been going on. But I will catch you up with some of the more fun things that have happened in the interim as I've been away and now that I am back. So the last episode I posted was with Albert Bramante, and that was in late August. Goodness. So this is one of the longest gaps that the podcast has ever been away. So that would have been just the week of Carnival. So that was Carnival. So for those who aren't London-based, the Notting Hill Carnival, which I believe is the largest street party in the world, or is it just Europe? Let's have a look it up. Anyway, had an amazing time there, as you can imagine, whining and shaking and eating jerk chicken and goat curry and curry goat. I'm so sorry. All that kind of stuff. The largest street party in Europe. So I don't know what the largest street party in the world. Should we see? Do you reckon it's one in Rio? Largest street party in the world. It's got to be the Rio one, hasn't it? Isn't that like famously the biggest one? So this is London's, equivalent of that. Been going for 57 years. The largest street carnival in the world is the Carnival of Sao Paulo, Brazil, which attracts approximately 15 million people. So that would be, double the population of London, roughly? Or is London bigger than that now? So we can't quite compete with that, but it's still rather large. I think it's millions who attend. Anyway, it's if you've never been, it's definitely worth having a go because it's good vibes, massive sound systems, people slanging food out of their front and back gardens, policemen having a nice time. And of course it's riddled with knife crime and gangs and youth and yeah. I mean, I'm sure obviously that stuff does happen, but obviously overblown by horrible right-wing media. Speaking of horrible right-wing media, I've also been away as we had the Unite the Kingdom rally, which if you've seen Nico, the YouTuber Nico's infiltration video, where he puts on prosthetics to look like an old white man and walks around. And if you've seen that video, it really exposes the lies and charlatanness, is that a word? I'm going with it, of all the people who say, we're not far right, we're not racists, we're not Islamophobes. But it turns out that, a lot of them are. And certainly, if you are any of those things, you would be very comfortable going there to that rally and finding a lot of people who also are that and wouldn't feel ashamed or embarrassed or afraid to say those things, which is lovely. Because it really shows that the country is moving in a great direction. But I'm not here to talk about politics. That's not what this show is about. So, yes, as I said, that was Carnival. So that was August. Where does that lead up to? September's next. So my mum threw the big plane. My mum's 75th happened, which was a fantastic occasion. Lots and lots of people. I don't know what parties are like when you are required to be one of the facilitators at such a party, a family event. But basically, what it means in my family is that if I am seen to be at any point just taking a second to relax, I will be grabbed and told, Robert, you must come and talk to Susan. She's not been feeling well lately. Or Robert, Jonathan over there hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. So, Robert, could you go and just get the sausages out of the oven? Robert, have you seen Erin? She's really... Robert, would you mind? So, yeah. If that sounds like your idea of fun, come to a party at the Neumark Jones household. But it was a very good occasion. And speaking of family, my brother is messaging me. Let me just pause the recording here 1 second. Classic. He messaged me saying, "Can we quickly call right now?" So I tried to call him, and he didn't answer. So I don't really have time either. So come on, call me back. Hurry up. Anyway, where was I? I was talking about the party. So that was a big success. And now he is calling me. All right. Okay, and I'm back. There we go. That was nice. Hey, shout out to Jeremy on the podcast, doing his work over there. Exciting news that I can't talk about coming up, but very cool to hear that's all going on in his life. Wonderful. Where was I with my boring précis? Although one of the things I am doing that I can't really talk about either is producing this documentary that's going to be airing in the new year, and I've been doing quite a lot of work on that, which is an exciting newish thing that I've been doing. Talking to collaborators around the world, arranging interviews, scheduling, interview transcripts, conducting interviews myself, transcribing, translating them, editing audio, putting that stuff together, putting little things together about that. And that is all coming along well. So when I have some concrete news on that, I will tell you about that. But I can't tell you about that right now. What can I tell you about? Oh, I can tell you that The Passenger is up for 4 awards at the Pub Theatre Awards, due to be held at a ceremony on the 26th of August. We are up for Best Ensemble, Outstanding Production Values, Best Director, and Best Production New Writing. So 4 potential awards for the London Pub Theatre Awards, which will take place on the 26th of October. So quite fun, quite exciting to be up for all of that stuff. And hopefully we scoop 1 or 2 of those, and that would maybe breathe some life into the future of the show, which has obviously gone a bit quiet of late, but that's how these things work. They go in cycles. So you never know. Something could be happening there. Who knows? I mean, if nothing does happen, at the very least, I got to have an evening chatting with Chris Morris about how he thought I was a good actor in a good play. I mean, I can die happy. Any comedy fans listening to this will know how important Chris Morris is. And, I'm not a fanboy, so don't worry. I didn't fawn over him or ask him questions about his work. But my God, was that exciting. And obviously the production itself was amazing, and you've heard all about it because I was talking lots about it. And I don't always talk about work on here because that's not the nature of what this podcast is. But sometimes I do like to, and especially if it's a piece of work that I'm particularly proud and pleased about. And The Passenger was definitely that. So to see it recognised, we'd already been recognised for some Ovation Awards and audience awards, but to go up in an actual awards ceremony and potentially scoop something, who knows, that would be very nice. That would be very nice. But back to the meat and potatoes of the Bliss of the Abyss. So, for example, my fence blew down. What do you think about that? Isn't that much more interesting? That is why you tune in. That's what we're talking about. There was a big storm blah, blah, that came in. Oh my God, the planes are non-stop today. Straight blew my fence down, and I was out there sort of bracing against the battering Leviathan. Is that right? Who's the god of the wind? It's Apollo, isn't it? But he's sort of like he's less scary. Leviathan sounds a lot more scary. Apollo, or is it Mercury with the little winged feet? Winged shoes, winged Nikes. It sort of doesn't encompass the bestial, powerful nature of a big storm. So let's just use Leviathan. Who cares? No one's checking my work. So I was out there braced against the beast as it tried to batter and tear down the security of my home, and the beast won. So the fence did very much fall down, and so for a while it was very strange because basically on one side of the garden there was no fence. The storm really did a number, and we had to rip out some poles and rip out the panels, and it just basically you lose your sort of sense of. An element of your sense of home is taken. Security, obviously, is the obvious one, but privacy as well is the next obvious one. And I think perhaps even the more valuable one, because, the thing with the security is, a fence, a door, a window. If someone wants to break in, if someone wants to scale those obstacles or whatever, then they can, quite frankly. Not that I'm giving away any secrets here, but I'm pretty sure any average hammer that you can buy from the shop would smash in most people's windows. And so I've never really sort of thought of the fence as being such an element of security. I know it is. It's certainly a visual reminder and deterrent. But the privacy element was really strange. Not having the ability to stand proud and naked in my own living room without having to draw the curtains. It's an insult, quite frankly, isn't it? An Englishman's home is his castle. And what do you do in your castle but stand fully nude? What do you do in your castle? You mean you don't stand fully nude? Try it. Give it a try. So yeah, the fence blew down, and we've got a new one now. It took a while, but we do have a new one. But we've lost sort of like half an inch of the garden in the process of putting it up. So I've got mixed feelings. But I'm glad to have my fence back, and I'm currently fully naked in my front room. So look, win, 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 right? What else has been going on? Let me just have a quick sip of coffee. Pow! Etc. The end of WTF, of course. That's what that reference is. One of the OG podcasts. And very much an inspiration to a lot of podcasters, I think, myself included. It's going to be very missed out there. So yeah, I think should be marked Maron as a moment of passing in culture. Much like when this podcast went away for a couple of months, I'm sure everyone was thinking, oh my God, is it the end of TBOTA? But no, because this will never end, because the abyss is never ending. The abyss, the void, it calls. And actually last week I got sick, and as I, sometimes do. You've heard me complain about it before. And the void really took me. It took me. I sort of almost lost a week to the void. Couldn't even play my retro games. Couldn't even play with my little retro handhelds because I was too sick. And it was that kind of ill where, you're in bed and the room smells wrong and the sheets are sweaty and you can't wear pajamas for more than half an evening and you have to wash everything again and it just won't leave you and you just want to break out of it. And then when you start to feel better again, of course, you think, oh my God, thank goodness for my health, which is, something that people have said before. But in the midst of all of that being sickly, which, of course, as a self-employed person, really does punch you in the financials, because you can take a sick day if you want, sure, but no one's going to give you any money for doing it. So in the middle of that tricky period where I'm ill, I feel like shit, and I'm also not earning any money, I somehow was involved in some kind of massive data leak. I don't know what happened. I don't know how. When you get those warnings when you're logging in, the password manager says something like, this password has been compromised, or this is a bit of you've reused this password. Because I think basically all of us, apart from me now, feeling very superior, basically all of us just reuse some version of a password that we've used before. Maybe you add an exclamation mark at the end, or, you add an extra digit that you've already used before. Just incredibly easy to guess and hack into any, minimum level of security. I think all of us do it. But I just assumed that, I'd get away with it, I suppose. And I'm guessing that a lot of people listening today are probably making the same assumptions with a lot of their passwords right now. But anyway, somehow somebody worked out what one of my passwords were, and almost every program, app, website that I use was compromised. My PayPal, my eBay, a few of my bank accounts, my Indeed, my LinkedIn. Someone hacked into my LinkedIn and then cleared all of my data, and then somehow managed to make my account another person's account, some woman called Charlotte Jones who lives in Miami and works in property development. So suddenly that was me, but then I wasn't able to log in again because I'm guessing Charlotte Jones probably wanted her account back as well. I'm talking basically everything. Obviously all my emails, and I was, defrauded of quite a few different things. Pretty sure I managed to get all my money back, but it's one of those processes where it kind of takes a long time, and you sort of think, if I don't chase up on this and keep an eye on this, then are they really going to care? Are they actually going to, do the right thing and return my money, or are they just going to leave it? And so I was trying to do all of that while I'm sort of like dying, and I'd sort of get one sorted, and then I'd get an email being like, we've noticed some suspicious activity on your accounts. And I thought, oh, not again. My Facebook, my Twitter was hacked into, and now my account has been suspended. I don't even use Twitter. I literally don't even use X.com, as I refuse to call it. But they decided that, no more for you, I'm afraid. My account, it's violated terms of service. So when I log in now, in fact, let's do it. There's a notice at the top that says something like your account has been suspended for violating terms of services, and now you are limited into what you can do. And also, for some reason, it deleted all of my followers and following. I mean, it kept my tweets up. Again, this is not a platform that I use. In fact, I'm sort of kind of against it, quite frankly. I hate what Elon has done to it. Not that I really ever liked it much before, but my God, what it is now is just an absolute disaster. But that's gone too now. My Instagram was I could carry on. The laundry list doesn't stop. Amazon, they tried to buy some weird stuff off Amazon. What's the thing they bought? They bought an eBay. They bought a video game code on my eBay. They sent a bunch of spam stuff. Oh, my Discord. They sent a bunch of spam messages in my Discord and basically got me kicked out of a bunch of the Discord servers that I was in. I mean, I've been targeted, people. You know those adverts where it's like, are you the victim of a scam? The answer is yes, and it doesn't feel good. Does not feel good. Not too good. But I'm coming out the other side of it all now in terms of, I think, let me check my email. For a moment, it was every minute I'd get a new email saying something has been hacked. It doesn't look like there's anything in there right now. Let me check. Oh, God. You can tell the panic, the terror in my voice. I've been burned. It doesn't look like there's anything there. Yeah, my Squarespace was hacked. My website. I mean, basically, it could have been worse. So I'm not, they did steal money and reputation from me, but they could have sort of deleted everything that I have on the internet. That is, I don't know why they'd have done that. I don't know why. I mean, why do people do any of this, right? But I'm pretty sure now it's calmed down. Knock on all the wood. That probably wasn't a very good idea for the recording. And another thing that happened in the interim, just catching you back up all the way to where we are now in the present day, and I do have some good guests lined up, so don't worry. But favourite guest of the show, Nils, Dr. Nils Hennis-Steer. Was in Oxford recently. And I went there to meet up with him, and it was quite the journey. We were originally going to record an episode, and I brought my travelling equipment with me, but we never got round to it for the reasons that I will get into when I tell you the story, which is that he was in Oxford for a conference. Hold on, I've got it. For the 2025 British Society of Aesthetics annual conference. So I tagged along to that, and I got his lanyard, which was handwritten because of some administrative cock-up on his part, not on their part, which enabled me access into the event. Which also meant that I could eat a nice free dinner at one of the Oxford halls. Look at me, all fancy, eh? It's not fancy. It's very much not fancy. I did miss the conference, but I did get to hang out with Nils and spend the evening chatting with all of his philosopher mates who are a bunch of weirdos, man. Who'd have thought? But in the best possible way, of course. And it was a lot of fun. It's good to have pub chat that isn't just the regular pub chat, that's also very highfalutin pub chat. But actually, somewhat disappointingly, I was always trying to get it more into the highfalutin, and they're probably because of the field they work in, less interested in the highfalutin stuff and just wanted to, talk about football and stuff, which is fine. All right. I mean, they can talk about what they want to talk about. It's their life. But it was cool. It was interesting. And then it was quite late, and the public transport situation in Oxford is provincial, shall we say. I'm a bit spoiled for choice in London because there's a Victoria Line train every 3 minutes, and there's also the night tube. But Friday night in Oxford does not have such, provisions. And I was staying the night with him and his sister at his sister's place, which is some way outside of Oxford. And so we came up with the idea of using Nils's bike. Now, I thought he would have a bike where there was some kind of, stunt peg situation where I could sort of stand on it when he suggested this, because otherwise, why would you suggest such a thing? I mean, 2 grown men on a bicycle, not a great idea. It didn't have that. It had the paneer. Is that what they're called? I'm never sure, because paneer is also that Indian cheese. Paneer bike, which is like it's the thing on the back. Oh, it's pannier, but is it pronounced paneer? It's the thing on the back where you can the metal frame that you can attach bags to. And so he was like, kind of balance on that, and I was like, yeah, but I'm a grown man with a dodgy knee. What would I be doing with that? And he was like, it'll be fine. And within sort of about 10 minutes of doing that, we got pulled over by the police and told very much to stop doing that. So we very much did stop doing that, and then we just waited and took a night bus. What I didn't realize is, of course, the night bus didn't even take us anywhere near his sister's house. So then we're in the middle of rural Oxfordshire, and it's either a 30-minute bike ride or, 30-minute walk ride. That's a thing. Or a 10-minute bike ride. Now we're back to the same situation as before of let's do the bike. I mean, what are the chances there's any police out here? But of course it's all, gravel roads and empty suburbia. So we did get home that way, and sort of screwed up the bike in the process, which I still feel bad about. And I'd like to apologise on record, not to you, Nils, but to your wonderful sister. Sorry about that. It's Nils's fault, just to be clear, just to be legally entirely clear. It's not my fault. It's his fault. Yeah. And I'd like to leave it there. Thanks for tuning in again, and I will see you next time for another episode of The Bliss of the Abyss. Thanks for listening to the show. If you've enjoyed it, please give us 5 stars and consider becoming a subscriber and maybe even supporting us on Patreon. It really, really, really helps me continue making this show. If you haven't enjoyed it, then you can fuck off. Many, many thanks to Nils Hennis-Steer for the amazing music and to Dave Fox for the cool artwork. Please keep coming back every week for more Bliss of the Abyss.
Message 1.